You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you'll get with this, cause this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with.
Welcome everyone to This Is It. I am back here with the fellas, with the crew, and we are here to talk about She-Hulk episode 3. So, without further ado, I'm Corey Roy here with the crew. What's going on, Ollie?
Not much, man. Hollywood DA in the building, man. Ready to talk about this She-Hulk. It's growing on me, man. It's growing on me.
Yeah, okay. Lie. Well, you know what we got to do, man. We got to pass to our man Phenom. What's going on, brother?
Phenom 202, DDA representative. I wasn't even mad at this episode, actually, man. I actually enjoyed it, yo. I actually did.
Okay, looks like somebody is starting to turn the corner on this episode. I have not been here for at least a couple of episodes, or at least the previous episode last week, and I know Cola didn't like it, Phenom didn't like it. I appreciate you, Ali, defending it, man. You was the only one, so now it's going to be 2 against 1 today, because, well, it seemed like Phoenix did enjoy it, though. But before we really get into that deep dive into this episode, I want to just tell everybody, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so you can get these notifications whenever we are popping up with another episode, another review, and another recap. And without further ado, let's get into it right now, She-Hulk. So, basically this episode starts off with Jen is preparing to defend Emil Blonsky at his parole hearing after serving his sentences for crimes that he committed during the events of the Incredible Hulk. So basically there is footage that we all know from Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings that leaked. Basically the world knows now that Emil Blonsky briefly escaped prison to compete in an underground fighting rink with Wong. This is when Jen and her paralegal try to go out and find Wong to figure out what in the world happened. That's when Wong eventually shows up and explains to them that he broke the Abomination out of prison to complete a trial in order to become the Sorcerer Supreme. I'm going to stop right there because that's when the episode pretty much starts going on. We'll go around the horn. First, my man Ali, what do you think of this episode? Well, not this episode, I'm sorry. This opening of the episode in particular.
Oh no, I like the whole plot, the whole storyline. This episode was good. Whenever we get to see my man Wong, you know what I'm saying? I'm excited. So and I mean, not to get too far, but I enjoyed
go ahead, brother.
Just how they tied everything together between Shanghai and everything explained it. Honestly, they wrapped it up pretty nice with the bow. It all made sense. So I enjoyed the storyline and what they did with it.
Yeah, no doubt. Phenom, I'm going to go to you, man.
Yo, I need more Wong, yo. I think he was funny. He added a lot of levity to the show. I mean, he's funny. He's like he's unapologetic in the way he was moving. Like, yeah, I broke him out because I need to be my training for a Sorcerer Supreme, and I put him back, yo. You know what I'm saying? That's all. They were like, well, you couldn't do that. He's like, I mean, what y'all gonna do? Right. But no, I mean, the writing on it, I ain't gonna lie. The tie Shang-Chi to She-Hulk, I never would have thought in a million years they were thinking about that. I don't know how they think about it like, let's add it to this show. They thought about it years back, like they're going to tie it together. I don't know, but I like it, yo.
Well, I am agreeing with a lot of the stuff you guys said. I think the writing in this show was great. I love Wong. His comedic timing is great. I mean, he's just great, man. When he just shows up and does his thing. Even at the very end when they tell him that he's committed a crime and he just dips out. He's like, yep, I'm out.
Basically he's like, I'll be deported.
I'm out.
I'll go.
But with them tying everything in to Shang-Chi was great because it really does make you think, like, did Marvel already have this in the bag? I mean, we already know that they've laid out everything. I don't know if you guys know it. They've really laid out 2 to 3 years of work already. Yeah. So they could have already had this planned out, but we just didn't know. But now to see the loop is closed with the Shang-Chi and She-Hulk, I would have never thought. But overall, man, I loved this episode, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
thought it was pretty good. So after that, a whole lot kind of happens. But we're going to get into basically the stuff with the Abomination trial. So at this particular prison, this is when Jen assembles a team of prison employees who have a good things, but nothing but good things to say about Blonsky's stay and his rehabilitation at the prison. The funny thing is that he taught prisoners how to read. He
Yeah.
led a yoga class. He guided them through meditation. And his 7 soulmates show up with flowers and white gowns on, which is kind of crazy. But, they were at the hearing as well. Eventually, she is taking her time because she's waiting on Wong to show up. And eventually, Wong does show up and explains that he did break the Abomination out of prison. Of course, as I said earlier, they tell Wong, like, hey, I appreciate you letting us know that, but what you did was a crime. Wong does the fingers, dips out. Then Blonsky really wants to demonstrate to the court, Jen and everybody else, that he's just like Jen and Bruce, and he can transform into the Abomination at will and control his actions as the Abomination. And he does that. Everybody freaks out. But eventually, they reconvene and come back and decide to let my man go. I'm really summing all of that up because it was pretty much a stretch situation. But what do you guys' whole thing about my man? He's a great actor. Seeing him on the screen again, the trial about the Abomination, everything that was going on in this one particular scene. I'm going to go to Phenom. What were your thoughts?
Yo, Tim Roth he's amazing, yo. I mean, I like him in everything he's in.
Yeah.
I think him, trying to explain himself and stepping on She-Hulk's toes was funny, and it was needed. Him and his 7 concubines, yo.
Yeah.
They was like
Pen pals.
they got moist when he turned into Abomination, yo. They was clapping and touching themselves and all that stuff. It was crazy, yo.
Excited, yeah.
Super excited, yo. But my question to you, I'll say that I want Ollie to say his piece. I want you to say your piece. But do you think Abomination is really good, or you think he's gonna get out and do something bad?
That's a good question. We will definitely say. I will come to that after that. Good thought, though. Good thought.
I mean, but yeah, actually, that's what I was gonna go into. To be honest with you, when you talked about the 7 soulmates, because I thought all that shit was a lie last week. I thought he was just saying that shit, whatever. But then when they showed up, I was like, oh shit. I thought he was talking to 7 people, but it wasn't gonna be like it was gonna be like we about to get out. I'm about to do some crime. Like I'm about to get out and motherfucking do some shit.
Right.
So. Yeah, all that shit was crazy, yo. And you left out the main thing. You talking about they taught English and help my guard dude get over his divorce and all. You left out the most important thing, yo. He got him to stop drinking that toilet wine and drinking the toilet kombucha tea, whatever that nasty ass tea is, motherfucking. At the other side, like, I don't know, yo. I don't know who came with that shit.
You ever had kombucha before?
No, you can keep it to yourself. I said how to make it.
That shit is disgusting.
I was like, I'm good on that shit.
I've never had that either.
People love it. But, yeah, the toilet tea, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that.
Yeah. Did you guys think that Wong was eventually going to show up? Was he? Because I didn't think he was going to show up because it was going on for so long. I thought he was like, yeah, I got other bigger things to do. But did y'all think he was going to show up?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, I always knew he was going to show up.
Yeah. So let me get back to my thoughts on it. I thought this scene was great. Tim Roth is great, man. I'm really shocked at how good his comedy is. I mean, his levity. I mean, he's a great actor, but sometimes you just really don't know how certain actors can do in certain roles with their levity. But I mean, he's really good. I thought the whole situation with him turning into the Abomination to really let them know that he can control his actions was pretty good, because he's trying to let them know, like, look, if you can let the Hulk out and the She-Hulk is walking around, why can't I do the same thing? So he does have a case there in a way. Like, he really does technically have a case that because we all know in previous situations of the Avengers, the Incredible Hulk was bad news. I mean, he was throwing people through buildings. He was crushing buildings. We all know what happened in New York. And look, he wasn't the nicest guy when he was the Incredible Hulk, but now he's walking around and people are wearing his T-shirt. So he makes a really good point. Like, okay, well, how can this guy walk around after all that he's done, but I'm still in prison? So he's really trying to show them that I can do the same thing as She-Hulk and the Incredible Hulk. But I liked it all. Do I think that he's really playing up this? I would say... I say he's half and half. I say he's teetering on that he has something else up his sleeve. He's being good in order to be bad. That's what I think. And I think, personally, that he's going to become part of the Thunderbolts. That's my theory. I think that Val is going to get involved and recruit his ass to be part of the Thunderbolts later down the line. That's my theory.
With Screech and them.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly. With
yeah. I mean,
U.S.
I don't
agent.
know, man. Yeah, I was like I said last week. I thought he was just making all this shit up. Nah, I don't think so. Especially with the shows only being like 30 minutes and this type of thing. I don't think they're really setting up a big overarching super bad guy at this point.
I don't think so either. No, but well, I think he will eventually be bad. You don't think he's going to be a bad guy at all. What are your thoughts, Fino?
I don't think I would think that if they send him out to pastor this way, I don't like it. I think Abomination is key to the Marvel universe. I mean, he was Hulk's nemesis. You know what I'm saying? I actually watched Hulk. It came on the other day, so I was like, let me go back and watch this. Because me and Ali had a thought last week, because we talked about how he was the victim. Like, he portrayed himself as the victim. Then Ali was like, nah, he wasn't the victim, because he kept pumping this stuff up with it. But I was like, well, I still thought he was the victim. And when I went back and looked at it, he was a crazy victim. So he's kind of like in the middle of both of them.
Yeah. I mean, because what he said is real. I mean, basically, like, they set his ass up to go stop the Hulk. Like, you know what I mean?
They recruited a mercenary and gave him he said super soldier serum. That's what he said they gave him.
Yeah. Well, it technically is. Okay, so that was very interesting. When he said they injected me with super soldier serum, that is correct. Because I have a whole theory about the super soldier serum and why it goes wrong. But I'm going to make it real brief. I think what happened is that the U.S. have always tried to replicate the super soldier serum ever since they've been in Wakanda. Somewhere along the way, when they found that adamantium, because the adamantium that they found to make the shield was in Wakanda. Somewhere they stole that, and they've been trying to figure out how to replicate what they can do with the herb. So they come up with this super soldier serum, but they never have been able to perfect it. Of course, we all know what happened with Eli Bradley. And their versions of trying to get the super soldier serum right, ever since they got it right with Captain America, they've been trying to figure out how to get that shit right. But they could never get it right because Captain America, of course, was frozen in the ice, so they can never replicate what was in his system. So they've been always trying to replicate the super soldier serum. Of course, that's what you got. You got the Abomination. But you're right. They juiced his ass up to think he was going to be more than that. And then once he turned into it.
So now Mark McGuire put his ass like creatine.
Man, look. Show did, yo. Turn his ass into something totally different.
And Kaseko. He got the Kaseko. He ain't get the McGuire. He got the Kaseko.
Yeah, you're right. He definitely got the Kaseko.
The Kaseko? No, I thought you were talking about the Barry Bonds.
Hogan Kaseko went evil with his shit. At least Barry Bonds was like,
true.
normal Mark McGuire too.
That's true. He did. So
Kaseko,
shout out to the Incredible Hulk though, man. That was one hell of a movie.
That was good, man.
Getting sticking needles in his ass.
His own ass.
Abomination. He was like, yo, I'm about to do it. Pump me up. Let's go.
Super facts, yo.
Yeah. So let's get to one of the other pieces of this episode, because it is a 30-minute episode, so it's not a whole lot to talk about, but just in little chunks. Let's get to the other part of the episode, which is the trial of Jen has a new coworker. We all know his name is Pug, which is a terrible name. I don't know where that name comes from, but he took on the case of Jen's old coworker, Dennis. And it just so happens that Dennis had a relationship with an Asgardian light elf named Runa, who conned him into thinking that she was the rapper Megan Thee Stallion. Basically, the way this goes is that he tells... Go ahead.
Oh, no, I just said something out. WAP. Go ahead.
I guess so. Yeah, that elf WAP.
That elf WAP.
That elf and WAP. That means that shit got a little special gift.
Yeah, man.
Got a little magic on it.
I know, man. It was crazy. But anyway, it had to be something. She put that fairy dust on him because his ass wound up spending approximately $175,000 on her, allegedly, on her. So eventually they go to court, and after they go to court, Pug, which is the lawyer, winds up having a conversation with Jen and the paralegal Ginger, and they find a little more information that he uses to win the court case. And basically the way they win the court case is they talk about how arrogant Dennis is and how his delusions of grandeur and delusions of himself is the reason that he would believe that this elf was actually dating Megan Thee Stallion. So Cameo shows up. We all see it. Megan Thee Stallion is actually in the Marvel universe now.
Yeah,
So
that's
anyway,
crazy.
It's super crazy, yo.
yeah, let's go around the horn. What are your whole thoughts about this, man? Ali, what's your thoughts about this?
Oh yeah, this was definitely. I enjoyed this. This B story, this B storyline, yo, that shit was funny as hell. Like from the beginning to the end, to me, honestly, like the first two episodes. Even though I liked the last episode, I mean, I didn't hate it. I was just like, yo, people's hating. I was like, I ain't hate it. It was just like it was alright. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was pretty good. But this episode, at least they got some of the comedy down. So that's what it is. Like if it's going to be this 30-minute kind of sitcom-ish type of show, you gotta have some real comedy, man. And this was funny, yo. Like from everything, just the him buying her ass, paying off her Passat. It was like, yo, he was like, yo, why? He was like, fuck, man, just out here driving around the Passat, Volkswagen Passat. Like what the hell? Like
that's like a random fucking car, yo.
Yeah, your boy was wild, yo, all the way around. So, this shit was funny. I like my man. Yeah, what's his name? Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis. I mean, yo, sometimes somebody told me, shout out to D Shoves, yo. He told me a great line one time, man. Cause sometimes he can get on his Dennis shit, yo. Anybody know Shoves? He can get on his Dennis shit. I was like, man, Shove, you crazy, yo. You be hyping yourself up. But, you know, he said, yo, if I don't suck my own dick, how can I expect any of these girls to suck it? I was like, all right. It's crazy. But it kind of made sense. He was like, yo. He was like, oh. He was like, yo. I was like, all right. Yo, go ahead.
Damn.
I mean, he could use
life,
like
yo.
toot my own horn. He gotta go that deep. Like, I can't get these girls to toot my own horn. If I do it, I can't get them to do it. I'm like, yeah. Now that is funny, but yeah, and that got Dennis off metaphorically, because like figuratively, because
that was a good one.
Because his ego got him to win the case, yo. And the thing about it, he's like, yo, and then after the fact, he's like, yo, can I shoot my shot and make it a sign the real one?
Yeah,
like his ego knows no bounds, yo.
No boundary.
Boundaries, yo.
That caught me off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I like how they incorporate. I mean, Megan Stallion is. I guess she's a hot commodity, yo. She was on P Valley. She's now in the Marvel universe, and they can use her any which way they want to now. Like, because she's really in the universe, even though it's a cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I did not expect to see that. Like after the court case was won, and all of a sudden she's like, "Oh yeah," and I'm the real. She's like, "Ah." I was like, the comedy in this was funny.
Yes,
and she even had her timing down point. So that was a good way that the director of the episode was coaching her to like, okay, I need you to say it like this at this time. You know, it was good. So I really appreciate that. I thought, like you guys said, that B story was funny because even the situation with the elf, you know, with her changing to certain people, and she changed to the lawyer, and she changed to the judge.
Yeah, when
she turned to the judge and the office too.
I like when she changed to the office. She was like, "What did she say?" She was like, "I like to sexually harass everyone."
So they definitely had to.
You know me. It's not true.
It's not true. Nah, but they definitely had the comedic timing down in this one. It was really good. So I really did appreciate that storyline and kind of fast forwarding. You know, well, is there anything else you guys want to talk about that before I go to?
I mean, I just gotta ask. So, would you date the elf? Man, I might date the elf, man.
You know, look, if she can change into anybody I want. Why not?
Some boundaries. I was just be like, yo, you can only be yourself
when you sleep.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
You can only be yourself when I'm asleep.
Yeah, when I'm asleep. When I'm asleep.
You ain't got a shapeshift.
Right.
Yeah, besides that, go ahead and be Meg. I'm good. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Be anybody you want, yo.
Oh, man, you can come home one day like, I want you to be Hallie today. Yeah, that's why I'm in the mood for some Hallie or something like that, yo.
Yeah, I mean, I do it. I mean, that's a good deal, actually. I mean, that's a way to flex for real, like hard.
I say you the ultimate Mac, you know. Any girl in the world you can be like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, come on, shorty.
Yeah, you gotta be in the crib though. You can't take her outside because you know that's how Megan Thee Stallion ended up in the court, like. Because she was there for the court case because somebody was impersonating her, yo.
Fuck that.
But it's like, outside. You know, women putting on wigs, yo. You get a whole shapeshifter, yo.
I ain't gonna lie.
True.
I'm gonna take it outside. I'm like, yo, come on, we flexing. We flexing with everybody today. I don't know.
Oh man, you gonna get your Asgardian elf shapeshifter elf hemmed up, yo.
Mm.
You know people be snapping pictures, yo. You guys even took Beyonce out.
I think we're going to see this elf throughout the series. I think so. She's just too funny.
Yeah.
I think.
And I don't care if Beyonce gets in trouble. What the fuck? That got to do with me and my elf.
Oh, she ain't gonna get it. Beyonce is very litigious. If you haven't noticed, she sues everybody for everything.
Dog, we ain't doing shows as Beyonce.
No, you can go to Burger King, yo. People gonna take pictures of Beyonce at Burger King, yo.
Well, that's on Beyonce, yo. That ain't on me.
That ain't on you. That's on your shapeshifter elf, yo. She'll be 60 days in jail for impersonating Beyonce, yo. That's what end up happening. But no, I like the hijinks show. The hijinks in it. I think the elf. We need more of the elf sporadically. I don't think she need to be a main character, but like having her jump in and out.
Yeah.
Very hilarious. So.
Yeah, I think so too. They gave her 6 months, but I don't think she's probably not even going to make it to jail. She's going to impersonate somebody else and wind up swindling her way out. And then every now and then she's going to just show up at a random spot. Be like, oh, there she go again. So it's definitely going to be cool seeing her sprinkle throughout the series. Because we got Megan Thee Stallion, so no telling who else is going to show up.
So I mean, like even with the cut scene or like the end credits, I thought the end credits was funny. I thought so it was silly, yo.
Yeah, we can
Did you see the end credits this time, Ollie?
Did you see the end credits this time?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. So yeah. I like the end credit scene.
Yeah, I enjoyed the end credit scene, and I was just saying, like, people been shitting on like the whole She-Hulk CGI and all that shit. I'll say, yo, they put in double time because She-Hulk had a little bump in the back, and I was like, oh, and they got her twerking. Like, I was like, she twerking right? I was like, I don't think Shorty can twerk like She-Hulk was twerking.
Yeah,
absolutely not, yo.
Some CGI. So shout out to the CGI team, whoever out there. You know,
no lie though. I was like, yo, it looked like her booty got a little bigger on the twerk joint, yo.
I'm glad I wasn't the only creep, yo. Like we're wondering, there, like, oh, she got a little thing back there, yo.
Yeah, she got a little 7 foot,
got a little thing back there.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing,
Yeah, so y'all gotta stop hating on the special effects.
Yeah.
They're doing good work out here.
Yeah,
yo,
man.
I gotta give a shout out to.
I appreciate
my boy Obi, yo. He said hitting chicks the size of David Robinson, yo. Somebody gonna climb that tree, yo.
Yes, sir.
Yo, I mean, look, I told y'all before, I was a fan of She-Hulk growing up as a kid in the comics. So seeing her on
screen. You did say something about that before this even came out. I remember we was talking about cartoon women.
Yeah.
And you said She-Hulk.
And I said She-Hulk,
Yeah, we was like, what?
What the? Yo. That was my little, 11, 12-year-old self, reading comics like, damn, yo, all right, she's an Amazon. But anyway, let's go. She's now winning the court case. It's a little stuff going on with the media. They're all about She-Hulk. Everybody's got rumors about She-Hulk. She-Hulk's pregnant. She-Hulk's got a baby. She-Hulk's this. She-Hulk's that. But then after she wins the court case, we pretty much get to the end of the episode where there's a motley crew of teenagers and some teenage leader. And it looks like they all got stolen Asgardian weapons. I don't know for real what's going on, but they attack Jen in the back of the alley behind her house. She beats him up, clearly. At first, she kind of freaks out, like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I can She-Hulk out. So then she She-Hulks out, beats them up. And when the teenagers get back in their car, you notice that one of the teenagers say, hey, did you get it? And that's when the camera pans in. You see a really big needle that's bent up. And he says, hey, I couldn't do it after she hulked out. So that's pretty much the end of that episode. What did you guys think of this whole particular scene here? Phenom, Ali, whichever one going to go first.
I mean, I thought it was cool, yo. I mean, I want to know who tried to get her blood to to do something. That was on my mind.
I say they weren't all teenagers. It was one old.
No, it was one dude.
One adult.
That's the ringleader. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Ringleader.
Like I thought it was cool. I mean, she realized she's a Hulk and she has super strength. She's impenetrable. You know what I mean? So her skin, she can take bullets and all that stuff. So the needle won't gonna work. You touched on something a little bit before that, and we kind of talked about this before. The misogyny that She-Hulk was facing, and like even backlash now, like outside of the show, people were like talking about She-Hulk and like She-Hulk being too woke, I don't know if they foresaw that because they wrote it into the script. Like people were going to be thinking that She-Hulk is, because she even made mention. She's like, "Why I gotta be She-Hulk? Why can't it just be Hulk?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if all the fanboys they already kind of knew what the fanboys was going to be.
I think they already knew just off of like different. I mean, they don't read a bunch of movies, so they already know the comments. Because even, not even about the She-Hulk, like the comments that people have been making in the shows, like, "Oh, we got another woman superhero. Why is that?" Like that little montage they had. I'm a montage fan. Wasn't a fan of that one though, but they did a whole bunch of like, "Why does it need another woman?" Like. We don't need another woman superhero and this and that, so they already saw it coming.
Yeah. Did you see the one guy be like, I smashed though. I smashed though.
Yeah, that was.
Dog, it's always a black dude.
He was black dude. He was like, yeah, I smashed. He was like, yeah. I was like, where?
Yo.
I saw that too, yo.
We are a monolith when it comes to that, yo. I will say that. I say black people in a monolith. When it comes to figuring out we smash or not, every black dude will be like, it crosses their mind. They could be listening to a conversation like, you be like, damn, I smash, yo. And they get back to the conversation, like in their head, they might not say it.
Right.
Maybe they say it, but they won't say it out loud. But that go across every dude's head, yo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
not mine,
that was
I'm
funny.
married, see? Not mine.
That was funny. Yeah, they definitely did really good with the jokes, the timing and everything. Because that wasn't even something that was like in your face. But when I heard it, I laughed because I was like, that's funny. But you're right. It's almost like they know what they've been dealing with all the Marvel fans and the people all over the years. So it's almost like they're beating people to the punch on everything. So they're talking about all that stuff already ahead of time, like they're already knowing what they're going to say, which is pretty cool. And I always love Jen Walter talking to the camera. That's very reminiscent of the comics. I've told you that before. The breaking up the fourth wall. So I always love all of that stuff. But it's pretty good. I'd really like to figure out what they're trying to get her blood for, who is trying to get it. Like I said before, I'm speculating that it's possibly Val trying to figure out a way to build up her team of the Thunderbolts. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I don't know. But I did read somewhere that this was supposedly some group of teenagers that's in the comics called the Thunderballs or something. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, don't get me lying, but supposedly, I don't know.
Thunderbolts versus the Thunderballs.
The Thunderballs, I don't know, but don't get me lying. But anyway, supposedly they were some ragtag of teenagers that's been in the comics before, but anyway, who they're working for, why they're trying to get that needle stuck in her, I have no idea. But either way,
they said something. See, and this is why I always watch. See, I have my closed captions on. This is why I be fucking up, man. That's why I watch shit with closed captions. Because she was like, "Yo, did y'all steal those tools like from some kind of construction workers?" And they was like, "Oh yeah, we did." So what they got like superhero? Well, not superhero.
They had like superhero weapons.
Yeah, but they said it was from like construction workers.
She did say that.
Go back and watch it. And they was like,
she did say that.
And they was like, oh yeah, we did. Like they was like, oh yeah, that's where we got them from. Because there definitely was some ragtag. I was like, come on, man, y'all coming to She-Hulk? Like this is what y'all coming with? Like, come on, bro.
It's not gonna work. Not at all.
Yeah, I'm wondering who you think Val was in like that batch. Like, come on.
Maybe not, but I think Val probably hired somebody that hired them. Because what Val, like most people, they're not trying to be the ones connected to it at all. So Val can always like, I ain't know nothing about it. So I think eventually we may find out who was really behind it, but it's definitely somebody. I mean, you ain't send them kids out to do that. Those are flunkies.
They was flunkies. They was worse than Stormtroopers. They was worse than who was the motherfuckers? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Foot
Clan.
Yeah, the Foot Clan. Like they was like these motherfuckers was bad. These motherfuckers was bad. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, they were pretty bad.
I got a theory about who it may be. I think it could be Titania, because this is my thing too. Because I think Ollie said it earlier. There's no villain. That's the girl.
The one that did the kung fu kick in the courtroom.
Oh, all right, yeah.
The influencer.
Episode, yeah, they ain't showed nothing about her since.
Yeah, I mean, like they was hyping her up. Like she was doing all red carpets and all that stuff. Yeah. She's only been like 2 minutes.
She's only been 2 minutes, if that, in the first episode. You're right.
So that's the only thing I would say this with Ms. Marvel, we kind of figured out who the villains. We knew who the villains were, and there was a couple episodes of her fighting villains. This one, it don't. There's no who's her nemesis.
Mhm.
Like they set it up to be Titania, but we don't see her fighting anybody else yet. I mean, we're already 3 episodes in. I think this was 8 episodes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So they got 5 more episodes to get this right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it might be a sitcom where there really is no villain. It is called She-Hulk Attorney at Law. So it might be that.
It's her all court cases.
But
it was that so she does in the comics.
Honestly, I enjoyed that. I don't need no big overarching story. You can have some shit weave in and out tied to the universe, like how they did Wong with this, like tied in.
Right.
Let it be a lawyer show, yo. A comedy lawyer show. I will be fine with that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need no big overarching villain. I will say, just because I was online, I shouldn't be online. I did see it's a black chick in there joint.
Okay.
That looked in the office when Wong.
Correct.
Showed up.
She did. Yes.
And you might know more about. I mean,
no, I don't. You hit me with some news right now.
You definitely know more about it than me. Oh, you ain't know? Like she's a character. I guess that was in the comics.
Oh no, I don't. I mean, know who the character is, but I don't know who that.
Are speculating that she's gonna be somebody. Cause and the shorty that's played her is, I guess she's a well-known actress. She was in Hamilton. She like sings and does other stuff.
She looked real familiar when I saw her, but I was like, I couldn't put my finger on it. Okay.
Yeah, so she's like a well-known actress on that type of circuit, Hamilton circuit. I had never really watched Hamilton. My wife watched it about 1,000 times. Was singing the damn soundtrack all day long. But I never watched it.
She be rapping and everything.
Right.
I get who. Jackie?
On the Hamilton, they be rapping on Hamilton.
Oh yeah, she does all that shit. But online people are speculating she's gonna be probably like one of the main antagonists, so to speak.
Oh, okay. I'm with you, Ali. I don't have to know who the main villain is because to me, we can weave her into the Marvel universe. It doesn't have to be big bad against superhero all the time. She'll get there. But just weave her into the Marvel universe organically, because eventually, organically, she's going to become part of a team. She's going to go on her own journey where she's like, you know what? I want to be a lawyer. I want to live my own life. But then eventually she'll figure out, you know what? I do have to be She-Hulk because I need to kind of merge the two together. And that's the journey. But I'm fine with that. I like this lawyer show type deal. I mean, personally,
I can see it. I mean, it needs to do something. Like this episode was a good episode. I thought it was funny.
I thought it was a good
I don't know if
episode,
it's sustainable. That's my
we'll
thing.
see what episode 4. I mean, but so I'm really excited to hear. Go ahead, Ali.
No, and I was just gonna say, even if they have like an antagonist, like the bad guy, what have you, it doesn't have to be like some old crazy. I'm hoping, I'm praying. It's not gonna be like
on a small scale.
I gotta beat them to save the earth type of shit.
Yeah,
it could be
right.
Shorty working at the lawyer's office, fucking with her all the time, like trying to just set her up with some shit, and do some shit. I mean, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like some big world scale shit. Like, you can have a villain that's just like some old inner office villain shit. Yo.
Mm-hmm.
You know
I agree. I agree. Because let's go back and look at. We all see the movies where it's always this doomsday device, something is shooting up in the sky. It's a big end of the world type thing that the superheroes have to come for. But Ant-Man did not do that. The very first Ant-Man was a heist movie, and it was great because it was just a small scale heist movie. You didn't need a really big bad villain.
But it did have a big bad villain, Yellow Jacket.
But he wasn't the main focus. Like it was about the heist of getting back the suit.
Yeah, I got you.
He was he was there.
I never heard of Yellow because I didn't know. Of course, I wasn't. I'm not in. I wasn't a big fan of Ant-Man previously.
What? You didn't like Ant-Man?
No, I liked the movie. No, I'm saying like before the movie. Like I didn't. Somebody be like Ant-Man. I'm like, who the fuck? Like man, I don't know who the fuck Ant-Man is.
Right.
So like having like Yellow Jacket be the boss. That's no like.
I mean, the Yellow Jacket, he just had competing technology. He made his own Ant-Man.
But I'm just saying that's not like some end of the earth type shit to me. Like when you be like, all right, yeah, like, Damn, I can't even think.
I don't even need that.
Who snapped the fingers?
Thanos.
Like I know Thanos. Even though I'm not like a big comic book head, you know Thanos. You know what I mean? So no, I don't need like end of the earth shit.
Yeah, I like this being contained, but it does seem kind of. I get Phoenix's point to introduce Titania or Jamil, and we've only seen 2 minutes of her. It's like why? You know, what's the purpose of it? So maybe we'll see her at the end. I don't know. But either way, I've given this show so far. This show is a 7.5. It is getting better. It may even get up to an 8 for me. I really did enjoy this episode.
And I do want to shout you out, Corey. You know, you've been away for a minute, but in the first episode, you explained how she got her powers in the comic when it came off a mob hit. And Bruce saved her. Did you hear it? That was like when it was coming out, like the rumors, the mob had like put a hit out on you or whatever. She was like, what? Yes. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh, throwback.
Yeah. I heard that and I got excited. My nerd stuff got excited. I was like, oh, that's a nice way of throwing something out there for the folks that know, you know, like how it really did happen and the rumors. And so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Picked up on that. That's what's up.
Oh, yeah.
So where y'all at on this episode?
I listened to you, man. I've been listening.
Yeah.
I've been listening. I've been watching.
So we're going to wrap this up. Where's everybody at on this episode? I'm at a 7.5, 8 on this. And the series so far is right there, 7.5 8. It's really good for me. Ali, where you at on this episode?
I think this particular episode to me is like an 8.5, man. I like this episode. I enjoyed everything. I like both cases. I like the case with Abomination, and I like the case with Dennis and Elf. Yeah. And I think if they can keep this up, man, to me, like this is honestly my type of show. Yeah. You know, I like kind of like I'm a big Lucifer fan. Like I like these little corny kind of sitcoms. Not corny, but they corny. You know what I'm saying? I understand they're corny, but I enjoy them as long as the jokes is funny. And this was a good episode to me. So like this is like an 8.5, man. This is a solid episode. Yeah. Hopefully they can go up from here. It
really was. I'll give it episode 8. What about you, Phoenix?
You know what? They stayed after school, yo. They asked for some tutoring. You know, they was in the 30s and the 40s. It's like, yo, Professor Judd, can we get some help with this episode? I mean, we need to get my score up. I'm like, all right, stay after. I don't really believe in you, but stay after. I'm like, oh shit, you actually did good on this test, yo. Oh, keep it up. You know what I'm saying? You got an 80 on this test, yo. So I get 8 out of 10, yo. I'm like, yo, I'm proud of you. Keep it up.
You're not a teacher, yo. He was like, y'all didn't believe in your ass, but yeah, just fuck it.
Hey, I say the thing. That's why I've never been a teacher, yo. I mean, I do work in the education realm, so to speak, but it's not teaching. You know what I'm saying? But you know, there's teachers, yo, that know you come in their room, they stay behind. Like, I need some help. They really know you dumb as fuck, and they just doing it because they teachers. But this one, they actually try, yo. You know what I mean? So, shout out to She-Hulk, yo. Gave me a strong 8, yo. I was actually satisfied with this episode.
All right, that's what's up, man. Well, there you go, everybody. That is our recap and review of She-Hulk episode 3. I forget what this episode is called, but I think it's She-Hulk and Abomination versus the World or something like that.
The People versus Abomination.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Well, everybody, thank you guys.
Blonsky. Yeah.
Say that again.
The People versus Emil Blonsky.
There you go. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for watching. As I always said, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you can catch us on another review and another recap. I'm Corey Roy. That's my man, Hollywood DA, Phenom 202. And as I always say, we'll be back here with another review. Peace, y'all.
You can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you'll get with this.
I was like, yo, did they?
You can get with this, or you can get with that.
CGI folks are like, look, we're going to have to add a little more to the bump right there.
You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you'll get with this, because this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you'll get with this, because this is where it's at.